Hey everyone, welcome to the stream, guys. Hello Elena, hello Vladimir. Nice to see you here. And actually I haven't streamed for a while, I would say, and today's the first stream after, I would say, somewhat a break. I didn't intend it to be like a break, but I just was super busy with all the stuff, and yeah, pretty much this is why I had to take a break. I think I haven't streamed in maybe 2 or 3 weeks. And usually, if you're new here, first of all, welcome to the stream and welcome to my channel. And I usually stream every Sunday, every week. So it's somewhat a tradition already. So I just intend to come back to this tradition because I feel like I missed it. I missed the lives. I missed talking to you guys. So I hope that you will join me again, and we will continue to draw, to chat. It's basically like my live streams are about being chill, like chatting, drawing, like all the nice things, staying hydrated, because I have this water here to stay hydrated. Sometimes I get tea, so I encourage you to get some hot or cold beverage and enjoy some time while drawing. So today's topic is actually how to improve your art, and I will pretty much break down my own art journey, and I will talk about things that helped me personally to improve, and at the same time I'm going to draw, so please join my chatting and drawing at the same time. And by the way, if you haven't recognized the reference yet, we have Leon S. Kennedy today as our first reference. I just thought that I haven't drawn guys in a while, so I think that he's a good reference for our today's study. So feel free to join me, feel free to draw along with me, and you can also share your process and your results with me. You can just DM me on Instagram or just tag me on Instagram, and I will check. I will be actually happy to see what your sketch looks like eventually. So yeah, just feel free to connect. So today, as I told you before, we're going to discuss how to improve, and I know pretty trivial kind of piece of advice that you can see a lot for artists, and I think it doesn't matter if they are beginner artists or maybe a little bit more advanced. Everybody says that you have to practice a lot to improve, and I would partially agree with it and partially disagree with it. I will explain what I mean by that. Because of course, to improve you have to practice, and as they say, sometimes quantity becomes quality. But I would say maybe for somebody it's a controversial kind of opinion, but anyway, it's just my opinion on this, my take. I would say that you can improve faster by drawing less. And I don't mean that you don't have to draw at all, or you have to I don't know, draw once a month or whatever. I will just say that if you practice and draw, and at the same time, like, you do this mindfully, you will improve way better compared to just like mindless kind of drawing, like when you just repeat the same mistakes, let's say so. Especially if you have like a goal to improve, for example, anatomy, or somewhat I would say more kind of like hard skills. It definitely helps if you analyze and think about like things that help you, things that turned out good, like why this happened. So if you do this kind of like analysis and consider this next time you draw, you will improve way faster. Like, this is what helped me to improve in my like artistic journey, and I would say that critical, like logical approach will help you a lot. And just don't get me wrong, I think that not everything in art is just a subject to like cold logic, you know, and just rational mind, and that's it. Of course, there is, I would say, a huge part of creativity to it, of intuition, etc. But like, you can train your intuition actually, like especially art intuition, like by not just drawing a lot, but also by consuming a lot of like art content. So if you follow some really cool artists, and I would say not only those who you personally like whose style you like, but maybe just, you know, if you are, let's say, an illustrator, to increase like your overall, like improve maybe your taste, visual taste, to level it up, you can follow some of the people that you might not necessarily like usually follow, like let's say tattoo artists, or like, I don't know, maybe some actors, maybe some directors, etc. So like, I think that cross kind of like, not platforming, but cross areas kind of following, like, really helps you to see things in a broader perspective. And you never know like what kind of things you might discover just by changing your perspective on things. Me personally, I really enjoy like following some traditional artists, like I would say fine art kind of artists, and I think that's their ways are also like super interesting, and especially some of the contemporary art even like can be really interesting to follow, even though, you know, like sometimes it is kind of crazy, but I think that's kind of gives you fresh ideas and some food for thought, this kind of stuff. So yeah, and coming back to what I said about practicing and improving to all this stuff, like I would recommend you to, especially let's say we're talking about anatomy, improving your anatomy skills. So like, of course, if you have like extra time, like go for it. If it's like 5 minutes that you have, like try to draw something, try to sketch something. Again, it shouldn't necessarily be like something that is super complicated to draw, or like I mean that it shouldn't be like full-blown kind of anatomy practice. It can be just just like a very, you know, even stick man, how do we call this, like when you just I will explain what I mean here. Like when you just sketch like this, like with the basic shapes, for example, just like a sketchman actually, like this. So even if you do things like that, it definitely helps you to improve, like 100%, so that you just like, I don't know, keep your hand kind of exercised, and your hand doesn't forget how to draw, because I bet you have seen like or have dealt with situation when maybe you haven't drawn in a while, and then it kind of like feels a little bit stiff even to start. Oh, hi! Welcome, welcome. Nice to see you here. So how are you guys, by the way? Like, I think I haven't asked you that. As I said, I really missed our lives, and I'm planning to come back to this tradition. So yeah, I guess it's just maybe the spring kind of inspiration that I got or something, like, because I wouldn't say that I get like much of depressed in winter, but sometimes just it's a mix of lots of work and maybe just some of the tiredness and this kind of stuff, and it can be complicated to keep up with everything, so I'm really happy to be back actually. So, and speaking of, like, I told you that even a little bit of practice, regular practice, I mean, it shouldn't be like, in my opinion, it shouldn't be like every day, right? Because of course, like, we all have free time. Oops, no. We all have like time when we are super busy and stuff, and what's happening here? So it's okay if you miss like a day or two, it's fine. Just that try to keep up with it. That's what I recommend. And I will tell you like that, an idea that helps me every time, like doesn't matter what kind of situation I'm in, like if it's about drawing, or is it about, okay, I want to make the nose a little bit bigger. Or content creation, like, which also can be quite challenging and tricky at times. Like, it doesn't matter how many times you skip, like, just keep coming back. I think like this kind of motto helps me to come back even after like significant breaks and stuff. So same with daily practice actually, like if you had to like maybe skip even several days, like I don't know, even a month, like if something happened, you weren't inspired and whatever, like just keep coming back actually. Because you know, like we all have our ups and downs, so it's totally normal. And once again, just reminding you not to be hard on yourself, just be kind to yourself. Like I think that's very important. So the first aspect that we discussed today, like in terms of the improving your art skills and improving your art in general, is like practice, but mindful practice. I mean, I would tell you that, like, not to get burned out, try to practice sometimes just like for fun and just like completely mindless. I think it's okay because it kind of like gives you a permission to let it go and just create. And if you want to improve something that is like more logical kind of part, like anatomy, in this case, do some analyzing afterwards, right? Because of course you're going to study the shapes when you draw them, right? So basically, you already start thinking about that, like when you draw, and at the same time, like when you finished your studies, like just look at them again and just think to yourself, like what aspects you liked personally and why. Like what has changed, let's say, compared to your previous kind of sketches and studies. And I think that this kind of approach really helps you to both improve and not to feel burnt out. Because I would say like feeling burnt out is very real, and don't underestimate it. Especially like if you have tendencies of like being hard on yourself and working a lot, and just once again be kind to yourself. Like remember that you are improving and art is a journey, not a destination. So especially like nowadays when you might be not just an artist but maybe a content creator, so I would just recommend you to just move forward, but being kind and like very understanding to yourself, I would say so. Especially like I would say nowadays lots of these so-called productivity kind of aspects like can be really damaging, because sometimes they are just, I would say, too much, really. I mean, we're not robots, we're like artists, people. So, and you know that in the past people used to create like artworks and paintings like in years, right? Like not in a day. So just keep that in mind, that creativity might take time, and I think it should take time as well. But of course, like due to the algorithms and all this stuff, like we have to create a lot and quickly. But this is why lots of people just get frustrated, especially if they just try to learn at the same time. Like it can be like, it can feel like a lot of pressure actually. So just remember that, be mindful about it, and don't feel like you are a failure just because you cannot like keep up with this crazy tempo. See you on live. Nice draw as always. Oh, hi, Gerard. Nice to see you here too. Thank you for joining, by the way. How are you today? Hope your Sunday is going great. So, and I'm trying to like fix some of the proportions here, because now I think that it's a little bit too too long. I think, like, I mean, I kind of like elongated the body a little bit. And I don't think that it's fine. I'll just try to kind of like make it a little bit shorter. Like that. Also a little bit wider, because I think that's always a pleasure. Yes, I'm gonna draw a little bit too, and really hope you're doing great. Oh, great, great, nice to hear that. So enjoy your drawing session. Yeah, no problem. I really don't like cutting hands like this, so I will just try to do something with it. I mean, I don't think that I have enough space here. Maybe I will just shorten a little bit the hand, because now it feels like a little bit too long as well. So maybe just like this. I mean, I'm not going to like go full mode and drawing the hand here. I think it's enough just to so just a little bit. Trying to get the accessories right and like all this belt stuff and like lots of details going on here. It's again not too detailed because it's not the point, but anyway, I think just like some extra lines can be really nice here. Really good drawing Resident Evil characters. Oh, thank you. Thanks. Let's play this game with my sister. Oh, it's really cool. And which game do you like the most? Because like I have been really enjoying the original Resident Evil 4 recently, like, and I just started to play it again, like after I completed one, and now I just increased the level of difficulty, and it's really fun. I think it's really good. For me, it's the 4, no doubt. Oh yeah, it's really cool. And I also liked Separate Ways, actually. I mean, it's kind of like part of the 4th Resident Evil, like, and I just remember that I really enjoyed playing for Ada, like, after I finished the main story. I don't know, maybe it's just the fact that she was better equipped at the beginning, or what? But like, to me, she seemed to be like a little bit faster and maybe more more effective or whatever. So by the way, like speaking of improving art, I believe that's a really important role in the whole process. Like plays the fact that you draw some characters or like maybe topics that you really like and feel connected to personally. So if, let's say, like sometimes you just can feel that you're bored when you draw something, and usually it doesn't look nice like as well. So I think that if you draw something that you enjoy, like, and maybe the topic that you enjoy, or like some characters, some fun art, whatever, like I think that it really shows. And I think that it's a really nice idea, like when you want to improve your art, like you can just put in some emotions in it, and usually it looks way better, like compared to just maybe, I don't know, some random things, like some random pictures that you found somewhere. So if you feel connected to some stories, like it really shows. And like I wouldn't say that it's maybe a great idea to just draw, like only draw what you like, because I think that we should improve in various aspects. At least, like for me, it can be too boring if I just draw the same kind of thing. Like, and it's funny, like coming from me, because I usually draw like portraits and stuff, but actually, like in my sketchbooks, I tend to draw like various kind of stuff, like animals and sometimes buildings, like, and like different things. So I think that even if it's not like your priority in the finished artworks, I think it's still great, like to challenge yourself from time to time and just try something different. And like for me personally, the most, I would say, maybe challenging kind of things are maybe like everything mechanical, like cars, and even though like I really enjoy, you know, like there are these sketches, especially made by designers, like they're usually more dynamic, like, and cars and different kinds of vehicles look really like cool and dynamic in this kind of sketches. So like when I study something like this, I try to like learn something from them, but it can be really challenging, that's for sure. I have no idea what this is. It's some sort of like a bag or whatever, like I don't know what this is. So I think I will just skip drawing it because I have no idea, and now it looks weird. Yeah, it's alright, I always do that. Everything I do, I feel that way, and I always try to draw different things too. Yeah, I love that. And actually, I like the way you like draw different kind of fun art and different like series and different like movies and stuff and cartoons, and I think it's really cool that you can like juggle the styles like this, and at the same time like they really feel like it's an artwork that is made by you. So like every time I see your piece on the feed, like I always can tell that it's yours. So I think it's cool that you kind of like reach this level of like identity, like art, maybe style that you have. So I think it's really cool, like when the style kind of like can be seen, like in whatever you can draw. So it's I would say not easy to do, because you know, like sometimes, especially for beginner artists, like it can be challenging to like draw different things, and when they put in the gallery, or like, I mean, on Instagram, for example, like on their account can look like it's different people's drawings. So I think that's when you definitely can tell that it's this person or that person, I think it's really cool. Okay, I think that with this one we're more or less done. Let's put him here somewhere. Just decrease a little bit the size, and we are going to work with the next reference that I prepared for today. And I think it will be this girl. Oh, thank you. Hope so, because you know, like I really remember the time like when my art like looked as if it's different people's kind of drawings like in one gallery. So like, yeah. Thank you so much. Like I really appreciate that, and it's always nice to like I would say that I'm really appreciative of your support. So every time I post something, like it's a pleasure to get a comment from you, and like, yeah, thank you so much, really. So as for like, I started the new layer here because I think I might just occasionally like maybe intersect somewhere or mess up, and I don't want to like occasionally just erase the previous sketch. So yeah, I will just. So with this one, like we can see that there is a slight kind of perspective here. So I will just use a few guiding lines. Like I'm not heavy on guiding lines, by the way, like, and like on building like all the anatomy like too much, because I think I'm somewhere in between like freehand kind of drawing and sketching, and a little bit of constructing and guiding kind of stuff, like if it makes sense. So I try not to overdo either, because like I feel if I just freestyle too much, I can lose maybe the anatomy part, and if I stick too much to like putting everything like strictly and exactly as it is in the reference picture, I might lose like the creative kind of approach and maybe even some dynamic and movement, especially for dynamic poses. So I just try to juggle this too. Studio very seriously, I will be there always. Likewise. So always a pleasure to see your art, so keep creating. But at the same time, like as I said before, like just be kind to yourself, because you know, I think that for artists, for content creators, it's really real kind of problem of a burnout. So like from time to time we can feel a little bit overwhelmed. So I mean, I think we should try to stay like within some healthy limits, like, because I don't know, I think that it can be quite challenging, like when we deal with some of the like burnout, maybe kind of time periods and just periods in our lives. So I think like we should try to stay balanced in this case. Because I think like nowadays social media can be really stressing on artists, especially because like, you know, it's not like for other content creators who can just, I don't know, sit and record a speaking video and that's enough. I mean, for some artists it works, but anyway, like you have to draw, right? And you have to produce art, and sometimes very quickly, so I think that it's like can be quite challenging. Animations are tough, like I think it's really cool that you are mastering them and like improving them so much, and like it's really cool, but I understand how much work this is, like it's crazy. I think like animation is the one of the toughest creative professions actually. But it's cool. Anyway, like it looks really cool. So here I just started like without much planning, because I think I'm just a little bit distracted by the previous sketch. It kind of like takes the extra free space, so I will try to just like lessen a little bit, like decrease the size of the second sketch so that I can do this more accurately, because or even like if they intersect, like whatever, I can just fix it later, because I'm trying to keep the character here more. Yes, because I wanted time and illustration, so I have to overthink a lot sometimes. Yeah, so this is why I'm telling you, like, stay healthy, please. Like, and don't be too hard on yourself. I mean, it's really a lot of work, so. And actually, I think you're quite productive. Like, I see your artworks like pretty often in the feed, and I like that. I think like for myself, I'm still trying to figure out the right pace, because like I have this tendency recently to maybe spend a little bit more time on artworks, and I have this kind of like really maybe perfectionist kind of approach to kind of like perfecting and improving, like even when the artwork is kind of like finished and done, and like I still try to find like what can be improved there. So, and on the one hand I think it's fine, but on the other hand, like it stops me from posting more often, so it like might feel like I'm dead online or like whatever, but I mean, I swear I I draw. So yeah, I mean, I can struggle from time to time, like with posting often, and so this is why I admire people who can do that. And also, like, I would say that for improving, like, especially if you do both, like, digital and traditional kind of art, or, like, for people who do only digital kind of art, I think it still makes sense, like from my perspective, of course, like to from time to time like make some do some studies like on paper, because like I don't know, maybe it's just my approach and I feel that it helps me, but like try it for yourself. If you find it beneficial, use it, because I think that it really helps to improve like when you mix these two. And I'm not talking about like spending all your time on like traditional art or like sketchbooks and stuff, but I would say that sometimes just drawing traditionally helps you to maybe get a fresh perspective on what you're doing. And like to me personally, it really helped to improve. To improve. So like I would say that people shouldn't underestimate like traditional kind of art. Understand that feel and try to finish and go another piece, not all of them. Changing things. Oh, that's a good idea actually. Yeah. Or you know, like there might be like sometimes there is a moment when you feel stuck like in an artwork, and you kind of like maybe there are too many things to do, or you're kind of like not sure about the colors or this kind of stuff. So I usually have this like toxic trait to just start another artwork, some like sketch or whatever, and I might never like come back to the previous one because like in my mind I haven't like solved it. So sometimes I do come back, sometimes I don't, but it's actually like funny how I can just kind of like skip to another one. So yeah. But anyway, like I think it's a good idea that you offer here, just to maybe switch to another artwork in case you're going to complete both. Because like sometimes it really helps you to just, I don't know, shift a little bit from one to another, and maybe not to not to do things that you're going to regret like later. And in this one I think we don't practice much of anatomy, but more like drawing clothes, which is actually also fun, like just that. But I didn't like plan to practice only anatomy today, so I would say like today we have more or less like general kind of sketching session, let's say. So we draw whatever we want because we want to. And actually, like drawing clothes helps. I would say on the one hand it helps with anatomy, and on the other hand, like it helps to. It really helps when you understand the anatomy and draw like the clothes, let's say so. Because basically, in many cases, like clothes repeats some of the like curves of the body or maybe some shapes and stuff, but Of course it does so in a little bit different way, because it's obviously some textile that is a different kind of thing from person's body. But anyway, I don't know, I love drawing clothes, and sometimes like drawing clothes is like, especially the oversized kind of clothes, it's an excuse for me to draw some anatomy. Like, I mean, if you're not sure how to draw something, like you just put an oversized clothes on this character or this person, and it's kind of like less of a problem. So gorgeous, I love to see that. Oh, thank you so much, I appreciate that. I'm trying to improve, and like recently I just noticed that I really want to improve, and of course for that, like, I need to draw more, and this is why I'm coming back to these like live streams and stuff, because like I really miss them, and it's kind of like two good things in one. Like, I mean, on the one hand I get to practice, and on the other hand, like, I get to talk to really cool people here, so it's like a win-win, I would say. Which size is the best? Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. It's so comfortable, I mean, being real. I think I will just a little bit increase this part, face, I think. Maybe not just the, but the whole face, because it feels to me that's the proportions a little bit off, so I'll have to change it a bit. Yeah, I think that's... No, it should be a little bit smaller. It's still like increased, but a little bit, not too much. Yeah, no, I think it's better. I just realized that like this page looks as if like there's Leon and Ashley, but she changed her style or like whatever, so like let's just make him a little bit taller here, so yeah, like this. So just... yeah. Okay. I'll just maybe clean up a little bit the sketch, because I just want to get rid of some extra lines that we don't need anymore, so it looks a little bit cleaner. And I think I mentioned that before somewhere on some stream, but anyway, like I remember that one of the biggest like level ups for my art was like back at school, and I used to like take some sketchbooks with me, or just some like A4 format kind of pieces of paper, and I would just sketch a lot. I mean, I was more of an introverted kind of like student back then, and I mean, I think I'm still am. Maybe I became a little bit more extroverted, like imbalanced nowadays, but back then like I was really like shy and into drawing and all this stuff, so like I would just spend the majority of school breaks drawing something, like sketching and doodling, and even during the lessons, like if the lesson was boring, I would definitely like sketch something. And I just remember that back then, like, it didn't really matter for me like what to draw. I mean, of course, like I was a big fan of anime and stuff, and like I was really into the Death Note back then, so like I have some sketches of like some fun arts of those series. And for me was the books and tables on class. Ah, I get it. I see. That's funny. That's cool. That's cool. I mean, I just didn't want to like leave my sketches like anywhere, so I just like... And back then, like I remember maybe it's just where I lived, it wasn't really popular. I mean, that finding like a sketchbook without any like no lines, no bullets, not kind of like any, just plain paper, like it was kind of difficult. I think that maybe it was so like a long time ago or whatever. And I just like used to take this kind of like printer paper with me. Like sometimes I would just connect them like with some clippers and stuff, but I mean, I had some sketchbooks, but I just remember that it wasn't easy to find them like in stores and stuff, so I just like used to take some separate pieces of paper with me. That's why I don't have much like many sketchbooks from those times, but more of a, like separate pieces of paper. And speaking of like books, and like I just really loved the books with some illustrations, like I don't know, geography or like history, and it was just cool to sketch some things from them. So and I mean, obviously I drew at home as well, and then like later, let's say if I didn't have a reference with me, I would just like draw from memory, because I have already like maybe drawn several times like some characters, let's say from Death Note, and I would just do that like from memory. And I think like it really helps to improve as well, because like this way I wasn't just like sketching or like copying stuff, but also like when you repeat it and do it yourself, you first of all maybe change something according to your own style, and secondly you just kind of like, I think, remember it better, if it makes sense. Yeah, just draw anywhere. My best pieces are in history books for sure. Do you still have them? Like, that would be cool if you did something like, you know, as the people, like, some people make this, like, old drawing versus the new drawing, or like old skills, new skills, so like, I think that would be interesting to see like how much you improved. And actually, like, I have this idea of like redrawing some old art. Yeah, I think I should find something like that. That would be fun, right? But sometimes like looking at old art can be painful. Especially for me, especially it's like the old digital art, it looks kind of like so cringe. Like, I don't know. I mean, I still like some of the sketches from school. I think some of them are really cool. But like, as for digital art, I started it later, like way later than traditional art, and I had to like to learn how to do it. So like, to me the old pieces look kind of like eh. And I actually like started with Photoshop. Yeah, like I had Bamboo tablet, like Wacom tablet, Wacom tablet and Photoshop, and like I just remember that I collected like lots of brushes for Photoshop, and I still have them. Like, and I sometimes miss Photoshop. I think it's really cool for drawing, actually. Yeah, some of them and they're totally different. I used to draw like dark things all the time. Oh, I see. That's interesting. Yeah, I think so too. Like I did some kind of like some monsters and stuff, like, so yeah. Maybe now we have like more of a trend into like aesthetic and kind of like pastel kind of things, I guess. Okay then, I think that's it for today. Like I usually, like in an hour I make like around 3 sketches. This time it's like only 2, but let's say that they are more complicated, so this is why they took a little bit more time. Like I hit it color. Yeah, it's... And actually, like, speaking of this, like, I just remember thinking that I was more of a kind of like graphic kind of artist, not the one who colors. And like everything changed, like I would say in my second year of university, like when I got praised by painting teacher, like we were drawing like painting with some traditional like oils and stuff, like, and he said that, oh, you're really like good with colors, and I was like super surprised because I never thought that I'm good with colors. Like I used to think that I'm good as like all this graphic kind of stuff, like, and ink and pen and paper, this kind of things. So like it's funny how things can change, right? Like this is why I'm telling you, like you never know. This is why it's really cool to try different things and then see like what you really enjoy and what you are really good at. Okay guys, I think that's it for today. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining the stream, and I really appreciate you drawing along with me. And yeah, please don't forget to like the stream, share, comment, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!